All right. So, this is King Saul right here. Does he look happy? No? He's not happy. He's sad. So these are some of his soldiers, right? And they're here in his temple. And Saul, he's really distressed and he's sad because the Philistines are coming to make war against the Israelites. And he doesn't know what he's going to do. All the Philistines are gathered up. Their whole army, they're all lined up, going to war against Saul and his people. And Saul doesn't know how to protect God's people. They're outnumbered. There's way more Philistines than Israelites. So they're all worried about how they're going to win. So Saul, he asked the Lord, he asked God, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to protect your people? And God doesn't say anything. God doesn't respond. And so Saul keeps asking, and he doesn't hear anything back. And Saul didn't hear anything back because he disobeyed the Lord earlier. And he didn't do what God said earlier. So God said, I'm going to take the kingdom away from you and give it to somebody else. He's going to give it to David. So Saul is enemies with David. But meanwhile, David, let's have this be David. Here's David. Meanwhile, David's listening to God. David's doing what God's saying. So God's speaking to David, but Saul isn't hearing anything from God. So Saul's super worried. So he doesn't know what to do. So he does what he's not supposed to do. He turns to a medium, to those who consult the spirits of the dead. So, one more character. Do you guys remember who Samuel is? He's a prophet, right? So he's a prophet, but at this time, Samuel's now died because he got old. So Samuel died, and Samuel used to tell Saul what to do. Samuel used to tell Saul what God was saying and what God was wanting Saul to do. But Samuel was dead. So now Saul's like, I have no idea what God's saying, and God wasn't speaking to him. So he's like, okay, find me someone who can talk to Samuel, which is a witch. Are witches bad? Yes, witches are bad. So at this time in Israel, they banned all the witches and stuff, and all witches were supposed to be put to death if they had consulted with mediums or anything like that. So Saul couldn't find any because the witches knew that if they revealed themselves, they would be killed because that's what God had told them to do. So Saul had to hide himself, so you can barely see him, so they didn't know that it was him. So then he went and found this lady. This lady's a witch. So Saul went and found her and was like, can you find Samuel for me? But Samuel's dead. So, let's see. So she calls to Samuel, and Samuel's dead. And then Samuel, his ghost or whatever, comes up, and then Saul takes off his cloak when he sees Samuel and is freaking out. And then Samuel's like, why did you do this? This is totally what God said not to do. Why did you go to this witch and do all these things? And then Saul gets super sad. He's like, I didn't know what to do. God wasn't speaking to me. I didn't know what to do. And Samuel said, tomorrow the Philistines are going to come. They're going to attack. They're going to kill you, and they're going to kill your family. So then now Saul's super sad. He doesn't know what to do. So what it says in the Bible, it says that he laid down on the ground. And he just laid there for hours. And Samuel left. And then the witch and then Samuel's advisors, or Saul's advisors, came to him, and they're like, sir, you need to eat something. So they gave him some bread, and he got up. And then he got up, he ate some food, and then they came back to his temple. And then they slept, and then the next day came, and sure enough, the Philistines attacked, killed Saul, and they killed Saul's family, and Saul's now dead. So that's the story. Pretty tough one. But there is a purpose to the story, like everything in God's word, even if it's sad and people die, there's a purpose to that. So what could Saul have done to not have any of this happen?